you can, just like movies, won't you just take a little bit of money, go invest yourself in a burner, create some movies, sell them off to the hair salons, and you can actually create yourself a residual income around this. So now the same mother that called him a bum and everything is now saying, hey, look, can you lend me $10? Because now he has CDs, DVDs all set up in all the hair salons. So it depends on what kind of words you have speaking over you, what kind of environment you're in, what kind of people that are they pulling out what you were designed to be, or are they part of the captivity of making sure that your potential and purpose doesn't come out? And by the way, speaking of potential, what this play is also doing is 100% of the proceeds are going to building a homeless shelter.
And I've read that it wasn't on this, but it was something else that you're doing. Romantic.
Yes. Oh, royalty poetic matchmaking, which it's what I do is humanitarian work.
Okay.
Because the reason why I call it that is because if your gift is not making mankind better, then to me, what is the point?
Yeah, I always say art without activism is just
Yeah.
Wow.
So for me, it's pointless. You know what I mean? A lot of people do stuff for the money, and I'm not saying money is insignificant, obviously, but it's significant. But at the end of the day, I do it to help mankind. So what I did was I purchased 2 buildings with my cash, but yet at the same time they need work. So as you know, the scriptures say your gift will make a way for you. So I decided to take the gift of theater and create the play and say, hey, I'm going to take all the capital from the play to rehab both buildings, one a homeless shelter for women and one for men. And so that's how man planted the seed, but only God can bless the increase. So after I've done that, now I'm just waiting for God to do his part as I continue to exercise it. Royalty Poetic Matchmaking is an event that I developed as a result of the statistics that we suffer from, which are 76% of African American women are single and divorced. And they are the leading number of women that are single and divorced on the planet, amongst all other races. 65% of African American men are without a good helpmate, one that believes in them, inspires them, and encourages them. And often they have what I call a hurtmate attached to them instead of a helpmate. And so the goal of Royalty Poetic Matchmaking in the name of poetry is to bring people together who have an interest of family and have an interest of reconnecting. And so 100% of those proceeds go to paying the feature bachelor and the feature bachelorettes. If they hook up with someone at night, it pays for their date. And also 1 night of daycare if they have children. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reconnect and love, because we are not only a nation that's chronically single, but at this point we also are a race that are chronically single, because everybody is doing me, myself, and I, and as a result of that, families are anti. They looked at as and Lord knows don't have more than 1 child, but people are they're taught to you like they talk to you like you got 10 kids if you got more than 1. You know, and the male community often shuns the man who just got married, and the woman who just got married. The female community kind of sets it up in a hostile environment where, girl, you mean tell me you gonna do everything he tell you to do?
right.
Girl, what you doing? Jump when he say jump, and the next thing you know, you leave the house at 8 o'clock. You come back and put your key in the door at 4 o'clock. You walking into a whole other woman because mama done got in her head about you jumping every time, and you got a whole nother woman. And so people don't support marriage, intimacy, couples no more. You don't too often see people double dating no more. You don't see couples dressing alike no more. You very rarely see a love song with courtship involved in it.
Yes.
And so the poetry events features a feature couple who comes and they have been together for a while or even married, and they share successful tips that help that works for them. Yes, you
it's
can come
great.
on.
Like to be in an environment where you can ask people who are in successful, long-standing relationship the questions that you need to ask. More often than not, what happens is just through them sharing their story, you get questions answered anyway. But to be in a place where you could be like, listen, I'm in a place where I'm worried about X, Y, Z. Do I give in? Do I not give in? How would y'all handle this for me to get where y'all are right now? If you can do that, where else can you do that? Nowhere. Because you can't even really talk to your parents in that space in most cases, you know?
And the reason why I pulled in the feature couple is because I was trying to put people in a position where they just not relying on just the information that their father and their mother's side is giving. Because oftentimes when we go to dad's side or mom's side, what they're doing is they're giving us recycled information that are not always information that are healthy. It just allows our now turn to turn out and look like their turn.
Exactly.
So you're giving me divorce information because you're giving me so you done cheated on your wife 7 times, but I'm asking you for advice. You see what I'm saying? Or the woman, you can't cook, you can't clean, but I'm asking you how to be a good wife as a woman. It just doesn't make sense. But we don't look at it that way because we love our mama and our daddy. We taught that honoring them is never ever questioning what they taught us. When in reality they wrong as hell.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Wow. I am, let's go back to Miss Hollywood. If you was not working with Dr. Loyalty right now, what would you be doing? In your many talents, of course, you can always go to...
I mean, first off, I probably would have been back in some monotonous job. That's the first one.
Okay.
But I would still be quite staggering through my purpose, Like I feel like with certain people you stagger, with other people you stride, and it's a striding man right here. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I definitely would not be in a position to really make active decisions as far as my steering my every action toward my purpose. Is this getting me where I need to be? Am I putting in the work that I need to put in so I can be successful? You know what I mean? Certain people, they set you up to think that it's certain things are gonna come to you. Like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. It'll come. It'll happen. Yeah, but proactivity is making things happen. So I'm in a position where I'm out here getting it. Some people say they're getting it in, they sitting around. I don't know how you're getting it in sitting around.
Exactly.
I'm getting it. So I wouldn't be getting it. Not like this.
Any acting experience?
Acting experience, I had very little acting experience. I was in a show at the Meyer Hall called Women of the World. So I acted in the opening ensemble for that. But no, not really. Acting experience. Yeah, I act a fool on stage when I'm doing my poetry, but no, this man right here.
So this is totally new to you. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
I knew that, but her attitude was so humble. And she was willing to be guided. And the wise...
It could be vice versa.
Yeah, because see, the wise are only wise because they had this gift of being able to shut up and listen and learn.
Yeah.
You can't learn and talk at the same time. So I get around people myself so that I can always stay caring. When I get around certain people, I don't say nothing. Matter of fact, I'll even go to say that when I get around certain people, I always have a notepad and a pen because that's how aggressive I am about learning.
Yes.
But to someone else, I know everything, I know it all. The next thing you know, you wake up and your information is outdated because the world has always changed.
Yes.
with Miss Hollywood, she had this. Hey, first of all, let me tell you the truth. I don't know how to do this, but I'm willing to learn. So she came with the truth. Plus, she was willing to learn. So I said, okay, well let's go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And all I need you to do is show up in attendance, and that's
I've
what she
only
did.
been late once.
Yes, one time, and I keep trying to hold that over here, but she won't let me. It just been one time, you know.
The name Hollywood. I love names. I love logos. Of course. Where did you come up with the name?
Oh man, so Hollywood has been with me since I was quite young. There's an old movie from the 80s called Mannequin. And the guy who dressed the mannequins, he was this very happy gentleman by the name of Hollywood.
African American. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very happy.
Very
pleasant.
happy. I know the character.
Happy.
Yes.
Yeah. And he had a pair of shades to match every
Yes.
outfit. He was just fly. So my cousin always said, whatever the female equivalent of that is, that's you. So I connected with it then, and then just really me being who I am as an individual. Like I've always adapted that everything is what you make it. So Hollywood is what you make it. Call me Holly Infinite, baby. So,
Hollywood Infinite. And also Jolie did say to give you guys her love.
Yes.
As well.
Much love to you.
Let me talk on Jolie. So, I called up the great Kyle. Well, first of all, I have a favorite female poet.
Okay.
And her name is Rasheen. She's like my favorite female poet because I believe that the words, specifically that is in her poetry, they are like an antidote or a prescription for African American men. They will allow, if you listen to them, you can find yourself rising to higher thought and breaking mental shackles at the same time. That's how heavy her poetry is to me. What she writes is specifically to the resurrection of African American men coming out of the dead state that they're in. And so that's why I consider her my favorite message poet. She is always saying if the strong is going to be there for the weak, who's going to be there for the strong? And I had a weak moment, as all directors do, and I said, wow, certain people not doing this, certain people not doing that, and blah blah blah. So I was talking to her. She said, look, I got a young lady I want to refer you to, and she brought it in, and Jolie came in, and I immediately said, wow, I know her from somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where. And she auditioned, and she has this soft voice, and she's so harmless environmentally. And what that does to you is it makes you drop your guards, and you don't see what she has coming. So when she actually sang, I did not see that coming. I just didn't. It was just like, and it was powerful. She had incredible control over her voice. Sweet as a bird. Loved giving hugs. And we just hit it off ever since then. And she is definitely one of our family members who we are very protective over. And we just love ourselves in Jolie. We really do.
I have a funny, I always have a funny story about Jolie. On the way here, when she was on the show, she called like twice. And I make it a habit to greet my guests at the door. And she called me and she says, I don't know where I am.
Sounds like her.
She says, I'm at the corner. I was like, what's around you? Is it a church? And I guess she was talking to somebody. And she says, is it a church? It's a church. Is it? You got a steeple? It's a church. I said, okay. So what had happened was she got on the wrong bus. But she went further down than what she was supposed to go. So I said, is it possible you can get back on the bus and they bring you a little closer to where you are? So she said, okay. So she did that. She called me. She said, I'm standing on the corner. What corner? She said, I'm all the way down. I'm looking across the street from somewhere. And I was like, okay, I know where you are. I'll come down to meet you. And when I met her, she was walking towards me. And first time meeting her, because I met her off of Instagram. And I was thinking that Jolie was a little taller than what she is, but by looking at the pictures. But she's really short. Right. And I'm looking, I said, no, this ain't her. And she's walking towards me, and I said, Jolie, Edigga. Okay, cool. Right. So we walked up, and when she came down, she said, I need water. So I had to run to get some water. We got this big old thing, jug of water. And she had to put her makeup on because her face was shining. After that, we had a blast.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Yeah, well, she plays a character called Marlene.
Marlene.
Who's
Cookie and
Marlene, these sisters.
Wow.
To the principal character of the uncle who I'm portraying.
Okay.
That fell to mental illness, became a professor, etc. Who personally, him and I, nephew and uncle, our birthdays on the same day, December 29th. And he's the first to graduate from college. I'm the second. And he has a professorship. I achieved a doctorate. And he was my principal mentor coming up. He made me go into an agreement with him to, at 13, you better open up a homeless shelter because we need it for people who are going through such as myself. And so that's how this became about as a result of that. And Marlene, who Jolie is portraying, she is the epitome of some similarities between. There are similarities between Marlene and Jolie, believe it or not.
Wow.
She would kill me if she heard me say this. Well, she gonna kill me anyway. But you know,
it will be on Facebook.
Yes. They both were awards, and they both sweet as a pie.
Wow. That's
you know what I mean? They both were awards, but they both sweet as a pie. This is a huge stretch for Keita because she's nothing like Cookie. You know, so she really has to act.
So relaxed and like I just be like, what's up?
Yeah.
Cookie, she's acting. Me. Hello, me. That's Cookie.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna go to a quick break. You're listening to the Charm City Direct Radio Show on the station where music must be played, MMBP Radio. Also, I do want to say, call in. The number is 443-475-0073. 443-475-0073. If you have any questions for my special guests, any comments, feedback, or you just want to call in and say, hey, 443-475-0073. The Charm City Direct Radio Show. I am Edigga.